seen a way for someone who makes your average salary to retire a millionaire?
It's possible. It's possible. I Teachers or somebody who's making, I'll even say less than $70,000. It is possible. But it's hi, my name is Dajaun Alphonse, and I'm a financial professional with MPC. I'm also a master braider by gift and a mompreneur.
Diversified Game. Learn how to start, run, and sustain your business.
All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, you are right. You're gonna get some financial game. You might even get some game on how to do your own side hustle as a master braider, whether you are in Florida or in Kenya. For all those listening in Kenya, uhaligani. To those in Malawi, mulibonji. South Africa, sabona molo. Welcome, everybody, to Diversified Game. Miss Dajaun is going to give us the game. And Miss Dajaun, how are you doing out here in South Florida, Palm Beach County?
Look, we done started this fall season. It's feeling good out here. I'm not sweating, so awesome.
Awesome, awesome. And I told you I really digging that shirt right there. So maybe if you go over to her Instagram, links will be in the description. She'll tell you where she got it. So in case you're in Kentucky or somewhere, ladies, you ladies can copy some of that style and swag.
Thank
So let's
you.
get right into it. You being a financial professional as well, and having a child, can you tell everybody why everybody, no matter if they're in school right now, whether they are thinking about retirement, already, preparing themselves, why they need to take their finances serious and what you offer to people so they can retire with dignity and not just survive, but thrive throughout life?
Okay, so why we need to take our finances seriously at whatever stage we're at. We have goals. There's things we want to accomplish, things we want to do, places we want to go that are always tied to a financial piece to it. There's always money involved. So you have goals that you want to do. Why not start early? The younger we are, the better chance we have at taking advantage of compounding and growing our money without us having to continuously work till we die for it, right? So when we start early by putting away $25, the minimum, even $30, we increase our chances of being able to retire with dignity, to be able to allow our loved ones to rely on us, to reach out and be able to help someone else. We increase our chances of closing the wealth gap, especially amongst different races. Even if you have children, like I do, being a mom, our we think about what happens to our kids when we leave this earth. So it's a big financial piece. So we put things in place now to set ourselves up so that we won't have to worry about our children. We were already ahead of the game. So having things in place, learning and understanding your cash flow is the first step. I mean, whether you're making $40,000 a year or $600,000 a year, we need to know and understand what's coming in and what's going out. Eventually one day, if we don't extremely love what we do, we're gonna want to take a step back from our career, take a step back from our profession. So,
Well, tell the people your licenses or titles, because online there's a lot of people giving financial advice that are not qualified. There's a lot of high school dropouts that I know who can go viral, or maybe they got their high school diploma maybe later, whatever, right? There's no judgment, but they're giving tips on things that they haven't been tested on. And that's the beauty of school and any education. It might not teach you everything you need to know, but it tests you. So when you do go online and go viral, at least you're not telling people wrong information. So give them your credentials so that they know, who you are, and they put some respect on your name.
so I work for a financial firm, and financial firm can have many different meanings to it. So typically the basic license you need to have is either 214 or 15. So I have my 215, which is life, health, and annuities. Um, the next step would be investment license. So I have my Series 63, which allows me and have the knowledge of different states as far as investing um, and laws and regulations when it comes to working with different individuals across amongst different states. Um, the next step, which I'm working on, would be a CFP, so Certified Financial Planner. And when we hold these titles, it's a holistic view. So it's not just pushing any product. We want to know where you're at, what you have in place, and where you're going. What do you want to accomplish? Because I mean, there's advice given on TikTok and Instagram everywhere, but the SEC is a heavily regulated industry. So people who are legitimately licensed, their investment license, they can't go on these platforms giving advice. I mean, the government regulates you from even giving um, testimonials. You can't even post testimonials. So it's not to discredit these individuals who go on these platforms saying these different things or IULs or any of these products. It's just that you want to be a fiduciary. That's the term. It lost me for a second.
You can be nice, but before you go on here on a Burn Your Leisure podcast telling people how you've retired and making so many millions so quickly, why don't you go over, look in the description and hit Dajaun up and see if it's even legal what people are talking about. And she may not have all the answers, but she may be able to tell you what's legal because you putting something in your baby's name. See, she wants to be nice. I'm going to call platforms out. I don't have the time or the patience because at some point people are going to jail for bad financial advice. And the platforms that are giving these people that advice are giving them a platform. They're going to have to speak in front of Congress one day, and you guys can mark my words, unless they just bring them directly to jail. But that's that. You don't have to be nice here all the time. You said it. I say it all the time. These platforms can be toxic because there's people like you who look like a lot of these people. We're talking about the Black community, the Hispanic community. You can get advice from people who've been tested. Now that you've been tested, can you tell people, is it possible for a teacher or someone who works whatever the income is for a regular person to retire a millionaire like people like Dave Ramsey have written about? Have you seen it in your own life or heard stories? 'Cause I know you're still young. She's under 40, y'all. Still young. Have you seen a way for someone who makes your average salary to retire a millionaire?
It's possible. It's possible. Teachers or somebody who's making, I'll even say less than $70,000. It is possible, but it is possible if you start early. You have to start early. The earlier you start, the less money you'll have to put away. So somebody who's making 40,000, you have to live below your means. The golden rule is you want to save at least 20% of your income. But you also have to not solely depend on your employer's retirement benefits. So being aware of what's out there, except your 401k, because now you're all in a post-tax account, which means now you have to worry about taxes and retirement. So I'm sorry, a pre-tax. So you have to worry about taxes and retirement. So you want to diversify, but it's definitely possible. So sometimes your employers, they have these accounts, they can give you a projection of what you're putting away and what that may look like 20 years from now, whatever that target date you have to retire. And also account for inflation. You can't forget about inflation. Everything is consistently going up. So you just want to make sure you work with a professional to make sure that whatever you're putting away counts for inflation, but it also gets you your monthly expense needs. So whatever you intend on spending, whether it's the same lifestyle you're able to live off now, you want to make sure that your retirement account, becoming a millionaire, that 1.2, whatever it is going to spin off enough money to pay your expenses, your bills on a monthly basis, but also Social Security. So we have access to ss.gov and we'll know how much we can account that we're going to get from Social Security as well. So it's possible.
Well, Social Security, they always try to scare us and say, will it be around for, those? Is it on its last legs? You said something. I said a million. You said 1.2. You'll know more than me. Is a million enough? Is 1.2 in 30 years gonna be enough? The way things seem to be ticking up right now, a million in a place like Palm Beach County is the basic. For some, depending on how your lifestyle is to have a million in savings going to be enough for when you retire at 65 or 70, in theory, to live another 20 to 30 years, in your opinion?
Hello, everyone. Come along with London and Sydney as they show you around the vibrant country of Cameroon. Explore the heart of Africa through the eyes of London and Sydney. Two explorers who journey across the great city of Yaoundé, exploring its rich culture, vibrant market squares, cultural heritage, and wildlife. With giggles and excitement, London and Sydney Explore Cameroon takes you on a fun-filled adventure, providing insight into the country's culture and traditions through the pages of this book. It's packed with exciting stories and super cool facts about Cameroon that will make you go, wow. Get your copy now, available on Amazon and in libraries near you. There's only one easy way to experience the exploration of Cameroon, and it's through London and Sydney. Don't wait, get yours.
In my opinion, Kellen, probably not. Probably not. You may need, because if you look at it, and there's a simple, quick formula that we can all put in our calculator. If your goal is to go for 40,000 a year, which really isn't a lot of money, but someone who's living below their means and they only need $2,000 or $3,000 to live off monthly, put $40,000 in your calculator, divide that by 4%. And we say 4% because it's right around inflation, or the least amount you want to go for growth on an investment account. That'll spin off $1 million, right? It'll grow to $1 million in retirement. So that's on the low end.
Okay, that's on the low end. And it's not to scare you, but it's to prepare you, because people are thinking, well, how do I even pay for these extra services that this young lady probably has? And what is it going to cost me? I already don't have enough because eggs are, $6, maybe more if you're at Whole Foods or Fresh Market. What can they do? Do they just need to be working 2 or 3 jobs, which, my Jamaicans have been doing that forever. What can they do, and how much, are your services going to cost them?
So an initial sit down, breaking down your budget, understanding your cash flow doesn't cost someone anything. It just costs them commitment and time. That's it. So our goal is to have this conversation to educate as many people as possible. So we don't charge a upfront fee for that. What they need to do, it's up to the person. For someone like me who's in this industry or who's a mompreneur, you want to work smarter, not harder. So if there's anything we could do to advance in our current careers, or some type of side hustle, because I do braid, a side hustle that we can do to bring in extra income, then it's worth exploring.
Okay. And with, AI kicking up, I know I hear the audience sometimes, oh, the information she's going to give me, I can just ask ChatGPT. Why at this point, ChatGPT, I love it. It's a coworker, a team member over here. But what is the human going to be able to do that AI can't do, at least at this point, until we go to ASI, and then who knows? We all might just be walking, cyborgs. But why do they need to still reach out to you and people like yourself instead of just trying to chat GPT their finances away?
That's a good question. So I don't believe, and I'm an avid chat GPT user, I love it myself, but I don't believe chat GPT can personalize a plan for you. So I don't know if it will sit down and consider everything that you have in place and point you in the right direction to what you need in your toolbox to get you to that goal. So, I mean, yeah, it'll give you definitions of what life insurance is or what an annuity is, but how will you fully understand, is this even a product that benefits you? And if it is, how does it benefit you? So that's
Okay.
where someone like me would come in at, to break this down and actually, okay, this is your goal. This is what you have going on right now. This is what you're invested in. Where, in what place in the year or time can we add a different tool or replace a tool? Like, they're not going to be able to weigh out the pros and cons of what you're currently doing now, what that projection will look like for you in 10, 15, 20 years.
Okay. And, with how things are changing and how quick things are changing, I don't know if in the industry there are things that you would recommend, or if there's even an AI just for this, because that's what it is. Like ChatGPT is, one thing and it can answer everything. What people are doing is they're going to niches with their AI. So they're taking, whether it's open source AI, and then saying, I want you to only do like this financial stuff, and going deeper into the financial stuff. Because AI is only as good as your prompts, what you ask it to do. Have you seen anything? Are you using anything that you tell your clients, hey, use this? Or you yourself might have your own app coming out. And if you are, let us know, where you say, hey, Dajaun got her app. You see my face, you hear my voice, and every day I walk through your journey and tell you not to buy that Starbucks coffee, or that you can't afford that Starbucks coffee. Or if you made it at home, you would save so much money off that Starbucks coffee. Have you seen anything cool yet in all the conferences and the meetings that you have that can help the people?
So I have, and some people would consider this a bit of a cliche, but it works no matter what income level you're at. So simple apps like Rocket Money for budgeting, or even Wallet Hub that keeps track of your balance sheet. So knowing your place, your assets and your liabilities, and knowing where your net worth is, how much debt you have to pay down. So it's a snapshot that allows you to see where you're currently at. So it doesn't necessarily grow with you, but it's a good starting place. And technically, a lot of the investment platforms already have some type of AI. Sometimes they don't want to work with an advisor because they're afraid of fees. So, or they feel like they don't have enough money to invest. So you have the AI on the investment platforms like Fidelity, or where you don't get to work with someone personalized, but it will direct you to a no fee fund that you can invest in.
Well, I love Fidelity. Charles Schwab, I love you too, and my Vanguard. I love you. But Fidelity, it's just so easy when you put your money in your solo 401k, and it can automatically, or you can manually do it, tell, hey, I want to invest in these things, and how it just breaks down how your future can look. Because one thing that someone like yourself knows is you don't have to guess your way through your finances. You know what you're making right now, no matter what you're making. And then you can just see how you put every dollar has a job and a name. Dave Ramsey, taught us all of that on YouTube. You can go. The information is free, so you can live debt free. But what do you think the biggest issue is, especially in America, especially in the Black and brown communities that are at the lowest of, earning income as a whole. What is the biggest thing that's holding us back? Is it BBLs and lashes? Is it having Mercedes and we're parking in apartment complexes and not having mutual funds and saving? I'm talking about y'all because Dajaun won't. She'll be nice. But you let us know your opinion. What is the problem?
Oh, our priorities. Our priorities is so screwed up that we would rather spend $20 for a fast food meal instead of paying $20 for a life insurance policy. So, and it's the lack of knowledge. So there's so much misinformation out there, so much get rich quick schemes that we rather risk and throw our money away quick for something quick than taking the longer and sure path. So it's definitely our priorities. Sometimes we feel like we want to live today. We don't want to save for tomorrow because we don't know if we're even going to be alive. Or we rely on our children to take care of us. So we feel like we birthed these kids into the world and it's now their responsibility to provide for us. When in essence, it shouldn't be like that. These kids have been asked to be here.
What can we do about it if you've seen anything that works? Because one thing, I was talking about the Burn Your Leisure podcast, and there's a slew of others, but it's almost like if we put $1 million worth of something, our $1 billion boys club, our ears perk up like a Doberman. And remember, those aren't natural. The Doberman has to have something done to his ears for it to pop up like that nowadays. What have you seen work that gets people to open up? Because we have platforms like Mind Diversified Game and Ashley M. Fox, who does a beautiful job of giving game. But those aren't the platforms that are going viral every day, every moment, unfortunately. So what have you seen work so even I can learn and say, okay, this is how I have to give the game for them to understand it and still stay true to myself, because I ain't lying to people. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is how you get a Bugatti. I don't want to do that stuff. But have you seen anything that works, online or offline?
So personally, what has worked, and I am nice, I'm a nice person, but the conviction is there. And in certain situations, we have to be straightforward and blunt with someone. If they care, they care. If they don't, they don't. There's not much we can do about that. But when we point out and use other individuals as an example, like, hey, you are now taking care of a family member and wasting away your retirement fund to put money towards helping this person, you're in a worse off position than you were if you would have done this. So we really have to be intentional about pointing out those mistakes in other people and showing them that, this is going to happen if you don't put this in place now. It's just some people feel like they're going to be healthy forever or they're going to be able to work forever. So unfortunately, it's until those terrible situations happen, then we consider taking action. But it just really takes someone to be straightforward and blunt with them for them to take action.
All right. Now you are, still in your career going up the ladder. And I know you have your side business. I want to talk about it all. If people, want braiding, and I believe in Florida, you don't need a license now to be a braider. Thank God for that, because we've been braiding before this country was even a country. But can you talk about your business and, what type of clients you have, so and how you juggle, your businesses, your family life? Give it all to us. But I want to give some shine to the business and, make sure people know the name and where to find you on that as well.
Okay, so my first ministry is being a mother. I say this to myself every day. I wake up and pray about it. My first ministry is being a mother. Um, 'Cause, I mean, we can grind and grind every single day and leave parenting on the back burner. So my son is most important to me, first and foremost. So I have intentionally set my schedule up to where on Saturdays it is strictly just him. Every other Saturday I do braid. Some Fridays I do as well. So as far as the braiding, um, I'm sorry, Kelly, I completely lost track and ramble with your question. Can you repeat it one more time?
Yeah, I was just asking about how you manage both and making sure what days you braid. Is it men and women, just women? Is there style sheet app? Don't worry about that. Keep going along.
Okay. So I do have a booking app. Active I have a booking app to book appointments. It is men and women, strictly braids, locks, twists, um, cornrows, anything of that such nature. Every other weekend, I'm typically braiding. I've put systems in place, like my booking app, automated posts to for people to be able to look at my work and book appointments effectively. I have a consultation time, so if they have questions, 'cause hence I am a busy person. If they have questions about what type of hair to get or what style to choose, then I have a time to chat with people about that as well. Um, Most nights, after my little one goes to sleep, I study for any of my other investment certifications. So it's a bit much to manage, but you have systems in place and things you've been doing for years that kind of help organize me. Um, that's helped keep me sane and everything organized.
All right, all right. What's a community give back that you are doing or that you would like to do in the future?
Oh, that's good. So right now, I am a mentor for healthy mothers, healthy babies, as well as talented teen clubs. Um, because I know how and what it's like being a mompreneur and going for your career and still having small kids. So that's what I do now. In the future, because I come from the industry, I've experienced different highs and lows when I first started in the beauty professional profession. So I would love to dedicate some type of event to the beauty professionals, helping them understand, they don't have to be behind the chair forever. And things do happen like carpal tunnel. So other occupational health things happening. So put things in place. I want to be able to educate those beauty professionals on setting themselves up for the future.
And I love that you said carpal tunnel because there's some braiders, there's some people in beauty right now. They're crushing it, they're killing it. I talk to them, I say, could we help? I remember trying to get them on apps or creating apps for them. Oh, we're making, 10,000 or more, and I don't need any help until something happens. And then they come back like this with their hands like this. And now I need help. But okay, we're running a business too. And you had your nose up in the air, but now that your hand is like this and you can't barely braid, now you need help. And think of where you would be if you had strategy, if you would have had a team, web developers, lawyers, accountants, all that. So, you might be winning right now, but think about the long-term future. And that's why she's multifaceted in doing things. Have you considered doing your own podcast, YouTube, write a book on what you're already teaching and preaching in your professional life?
I have. So more so of a quiz to gauge individuals' interests and where they may need help. So sometimes, like you said, we don't think about these things, but if they're asked about it to bring it to their attention, then maybe they'll seek it out. So more so of a quiz to kind of gauge where beauty professionals may be in their industry. at the stage of where they're at in their business, and what they may need to help them grow.
Okay. And here in Palm Beach County, a lot of us are spoiled because it's a beautiful, clean city. Would you say, I know you can do business probably anywhere in this country. How is the community response when you're pitching your services? I know you're not the only one. I've had others on, you like Sir Edward Smith, who we were just at the event and all learning about the disparity study in Palm Beach County. But can you talk about the response when you are trying to educate people? Is it a warm response? Are people understanding the seriousness of this topic and what you do?
Give or take, sometimes, not all the time people are responsive, because I mean there are a lot of people who consider themselves financial professionals or a planner or XYZ. So people come across anyone in our field quite often. So there's a bit of hesitation in the beginning. Um, and it takes some relationship and getting to know people before you can even break that barrier of engaging them as a potential client.
Okay. And do you see the young people being more aware of their finances, or is it more once they hit 45 and up, and then it's like, okay, I'm ready to have that conversation?
I'll say 35, give or take 30, 35 and up. Anyone under, they may, no, not of yet.
Okay, well, you guys are getting this game. It's real, it's raw. Maybe we have to have a video game come out. 401k, the video game. you know, it's something. I don't know. But what I do know is if you guys want more of this game, she said it was free 99 to learn more until she sets up her hotline like Miss Cleo. And then you're gonna have to, call for the 2.99 a minute, which you should have jumped on it early. Let the people know if there's any, other information or last words that you like to share with them that maybe I haven't touched upon.
I would probably say, as simple as it sounds, and I've heard it multiple times, people having to take money out of their retirement account when they're in their late 40s or early 50s. Their retirement accounts, they have the penalties and the fees for a reason. So I would encourage people to have at least 6 months to a year cash and replenish it. So it's there for you to use. So as you take from it, replenish it. So you can leave those investments accounts, the 401ks, the IRAs there to grow. So in instances where you do want to do things or you do want to buy a home or an investment property, we're not taking it from those accounts that are meant to be for retirement. So as cliche as it sounds, have an emergency fund, have a gold fund. There's things we want to do. Have those dollars allocated to somewhere. Like, know where it's going, know what goal it's for. So that's about it. Don't be afraid to set up meetings and have engaging conversations with financial professionals. If you come to someone that's biased of a product or pushing something, then that's your cue to reach out to someone else. So engage, network, especially if you have a side business, and always be open and willing to direct those people in the direction that they will need to grow their business as well. So I love to connect and help my clients or potential network clients of what can be beneficial to their business as well.
Well, you guys have gotten the game. If you want more, again, no matter how you experience this podcast, I know majority of you are listeners, but I'm telling you, go check out this honest face on the YouTube, Facebook, or the other platforms that share the video. But however you experience it, you can make your comments, you can write your emails, you can put that like so the algorithm, wherever it is, picks it up. But I want you to, most importantly, if you do nothing else, share this game with somebody. It truly will change and possibly save their life. Y'all, be blessed.
Are you tired of the violence, tired of the injustice, police brutality, rampant discrimination, lack of gun control in this failed bio-socioeconomic experiment called America? Or maybe you need a break from the relentless grind and want to regain control of your destiny, your wealth, your health, and your purpose. DiversifiedGame.com has the right course for you. Prepare for my first trip to Africa. Looking to reconnect with your roots, start a new business, or just a fresh start. Africa, aka the motherland, is waiting. Don't let the Chinese and the Mzungus have the fun and also take over the motherland. From Cairo to Mombasa, from Dakar to Cape Town, Africa has something for everyone, from business opportunities to the most amazing people, safety, leisure, and landscapes. The opportunities abound. It is time for the diaspora to reconnect with their roots. Time to reconnect with the birthplace of humanity. Africa is the last frontier. Get your head in the game and reclaim your legacy. The writing is on the wall. Babylon is falling. Give up the stress, grind, and violence inflicted on our people on this continent and prepare for a journey of restoration and joy by connecting with the land of your ancestors. Check out our new course and kick off your adventure at diversifiedgame.com.